Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tis Hitters. My name's Kurt Conley. I'm here with Mr. Nissim. How are you today on this fine Monday morning, Rev?
Yeah, doing good, Kurt. Doing all right. Running around. Crazy
Had a
weekend.
good weekend?
Yeah, not too bad. Family was over and stuff, which was really nice. Yeah, it was
That's
all right.
good. We had some awesome weather here in Perth. I took a few days off, hung in the pool, so it is good to be back in the office this morning. So let's jump into it. Episode 32. 33 is right around the corner. I can't believe we're at the mid-30s. This is exciting times. Let's get into it. First of all, as we always do when we cover any Tis Hitter videos, we always go through the disclaimer. For anyone that is new to the Tis Hitter series, please take a quick look at the disclaimer. We are not financial advisors. We just provide you what we see, what's happening with the market. It is not investment advice. Please take trades at your own risk. Everything we talk about in our Facebook, Discord, Twitter, and across all our social platforms is just our opinion on what we see happening in the market. Please manage your own risk and please trade wisely. Let's jump into the weekly hits, Mr. Nissen. Today, episode 32, we're covering 31. So what we talked about last week, we always do this. We always go and check out what we looked at in the previous Tis Hitters. Last trade was Dash. The entry on Dash was around 426,000 sats. The high after we entered was 436,000 sats with about an 8.89% move. The current sat value, we're down. It's around 392,000 sats and about 8% move down in the negative. Rolling on to the Tis Hitter starting capital. Actually, Rev, I'm going to let you just give a bit of an update on this because I do know that we are going to rehash some of these numbers just to tie back into some Bitcoin value here as well. So I'm just going to let you take the floor with that.
Yeah, so just not to get it confused or make it confusing or anything, but the way we're doing it right now is we're taking a dollar value and we're saying what did I do on a sat value perspective as a percentage, and then calculating that way. So it's not a true actual average of a dollar perspective. So what we're going to do moving forward, which I need to go through and check all these numbers and then redo them from a dollar perspective and also from a sat perspective. So we're going to have two tables moving on. We're going to have a table like this, but it's going to be a dollar section and the ROI. And the ROE as well included, and then a sat value perspective. Because if you look at it, we should be up in sat value here and much higher in dollar value because of the sat value aspect that we've been accumulating as well throughout these trades. Now, even if it was lower, we'd still want to be doing that because we just want to be straight up with you guys and show you guys the real thing. For now, I think this gave you guys an idea of how we're going to move forward with this whole system, but then to give you guys a true dollar and a true sat value perspective, and then what would you be sitting at this current time? So you get best of both worlds, right? You can see how you would be going if you were trading the USDT pair, how you'd be going when you're using the BTC pair.
Yeah, and that's based on some feedback as well, because a lot of people still like there's this real bone of contention. A lot of people want to trade in USDT, but then as soon as you mention anything on USDT, they're like, we should be measuring it in the Bitcoin pair. Stack sats. We stack sats. We trade Bitcoin. Well, everyone's different. Everyone likes to be able to have their options. And I'm not saying, and Rev's not saying, don't be stacking Bitcoin. Of course, we always stack Bitcoin, but we tend to revert to a USD dollar value because it's easier for people to process. So we will combine both in the table. Whilst we're on this, I do want to say thank you to all the members. Rev did make a post asking for people's feedbacks on what their experience has been like with TIS and since they've been in the members group. And there was a river of a positive feedback and a lot of DMs. You know, some people don't like to talk publicly.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to send a direct message. That's fine. We do our best to try and get through them all, but I just wanted to say from myself, Rev, Rand, and the rest of the development team and all the mods, the community is only as good as what the community wants to make it. And, you know, yes, we're providing tools and services, but the community should pat themselves on the back as well for how they carry themselves and some of the stuff that they're doing in there. Yes, the TIS Trade chat channel has a river, a flood of all sorts of different trades. And the tools and services have been really helping some people. And there's been some really good stories coming through. A lot of people sending me messages of successes that they've had, you know, people clearing debt and doing all sorts of things, which is fantastic. So I just wanted to personally say, I know Rev, I know you wanted to say as well, just thank you for that feedback. It's really good for us to look back on. It also helps us to look at ways of doing things going forward in the future. For people that are in Road to 1 Million, we took a lot of the feedback that you guys were giving us there, and we made some changes. And once again, there's been a lot of positive feedback that we've received based on some of those changes. So when we do ask those questions in future, or when Rev makes a post or I make a post, it really is appreciated that people take the time to give us that feedback. Did you have anything to add to that, Rev?
Yeah, no, definitely. Echo what you say there. And just to go back on the dollar and the B2C perspective and where you should be looking at any particular time, I'll actually put on the next TIS hitters, on the special number 33 episode, I will walk through quickly on what you should be looking at and why at any particular time when BTC is doing what it's doing. If it's going up, what you should be looking at; when it's going down, which chart is actually more relevant. You should always be looking at both, but the one that's more relevant.
Yeah, maybe we do some giveaways or something on next 33. We like the number 33.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a given. $33 worth of your favorite token for
favorite token. Maybe let's do something like that. All right, cool. We will do that for the next one. So 33 is a special TIS hitters. But what are we here for today? Let's check out this week's trade for TIS hitters. Today we are looking at ICX. Icon is the trade. Currently ranked 78 CMC ranking. USD price is $1.75. Sat value is 2,943 sats. The trade setup it's currently bounced off two important resistance points on the 4-hourly. Resistance has flipped to support, and the MACD is crossing that zero line on the weekly. Currently, it's 65 Bitcoin in trading volume in the 24-hour period. One buy notification. We really do like the look at this on the weekly. We are looking at on the 4-hourly, and we do give this an 8 out of 10 buy rating. Let's go have a look at some TA, Rev.
Yeah, let's check it out. So go over to cryptostat.org here, and we'll bring up ICX. I've already searched it up. So quickly, just look over the tokenomics of this. For people that haven't looked at this has been around for a while. Circulating supply 593 million, 800 total million supply. All-time high price is $13. We're currently sitting at $1.74, about 8x or so away. You can see the all-time high change is negative 86% from a dollar perspective and negative 96% from a stat perspective. And the reason being is Bitcoin is so much more higher than what it was when it last hit its all-time high in January 9th, 2018. That was the last high of BTC at about 19.8 or so. That's a day after my birthday, actually. There you go. So that's a pretty pivotal moment for ICX. So we look forward to seeing where it goes. Current rank is 79. We had 78 on the thing. Someone might have overtaken it since the data has updated. Volume change 4.7%. Everything else is pretty average. Volume change in the last 24 hours is negative 17%, but in the last 60 minutes it's up 4.7%. Buyers at 3%. Last 5 minutes, 15 minutes, volume is up 2%. So there's definitely some eyes on it, and let's go check out why. I want to see the price to volume correlation chart really quickly. See if it can speak something to us. We have buyers there, price and volume. We have volume picking up a little bit, price just kind of traveling along as it is. So that's always a good sign. We want it to start building up and price to start moving up as well. That's always a nice little sign there. So currently at 2,928, we looked at 2,943. So decent for now. Let's bring up the chart. Oh, my bad.
Just before you're pulling up that chart, Rev, I do remember one of our first ever TIS trades back in 2019, one of our first public ones. I believe it was ICX that we talked about. And I think it did like 400%. I do remember us talking about it.
Yeah.
And I do remember that it was one of the first TIS trades that we talked about in the group when we were explaining TIS. We were like, okay, this is how TIS works, and yada, yada, yada. And like, this is a potential trade that we're looking at. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was ICX.
Maybe, I think it may have been one of the best performers when I did the live on Facebook with Kevrev, and he was all shy, and he had the sun, and you couldn't see really his face. And I think it might have been the best performer in that video, which was actually when we first released TIS as a system.
Yeah.
So I think you might be right on that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so there you go. That is interesting for sure. And that, looking back on that, I mean, we've come a long way as a community, and as a whole, Cryptofy as a whole, new technology, new sort of stuff on board. Just wait till you see. I know Kurt's gonna get mad at me, but just wait till you see what we got coming for you guys next. Because honestly, there is nothing. I'm telling you right now, there is nothing else out there that will do what we got coming next for you.
Don't talk it up too much, Riv. Don't talk it up too much.
Yeah, I think people love it though. They need to hear it. These guys have supported us through thick and thin. I just want to share that our vision has not stopped, and what we want to build out is not stopping here. We're continuously developing and funding the whole Cryptofy project and pushing it to its limits. And we're always say, oh, well, this is it, but then we push again, and we go, we're going to go harder. But yeah, we just want people to have that one-stop shop legitimately. They don't need to go anywhere else for crypto. So let's have a look at Icon here. What we can see here is we've had this first sort of dip here on to test this. Where is it? The first one. To test this one here, I'm going to throw some lines in really quickly. Test the resistance that it broke out of, which it flipped to support. We'll throw that there. You can see it came through, it wicked through a few times. Most of the bodies, if we zoom into this section here on that blue line, you can see most of those bodies hang around that position and then bounce back off, which is really nice to see. We had a few bodies come underneath and then pick back up as well in there. In this cluster here was just like, yeah, a bit of jambles, didn't know what it was doing. But you could see we really held it there. Now, if you throw another horizontal line of the previous, not on the wick, more on the bodies, I'd like it more to be on the bodies. We can see that it does sort of line up with in that channel as to where it's holding at the moment, or where it held through on the wicks as well. So in that position there, I would have been okay with the trade, even though that is a decent, like that's a pretty chunk of a move there from 2.5 to 2.7 to 8. That's still a big percentage, but if you're ranging in there, you'd still be pretty confident with the trade that you've taken if you had caught it on a breakout here, at least. You'd be holding through if you didn't have a SL hanging there. So on the 4-hourly though, let's bring that up really quickly. On the 4-hourly, that has bounced off two important resistance points, which is one that we just showed, and the other one that's actually just here. We're going to use the wick on it. I'm going to throw it on top. The current price we are sitting in. So once again, little price channel here, wicked under it, bodies are still on top, and this is why we're taking this trade. Now, most people will be like, okay, Revel, where are you going to put an SL? For me, personally, we haven't fallen under as a body anywhere under this sort of section here for a while, since the 12th of February. So I'm gonna change the color on that one. Right, so your SL can range from anywhere from there to this line. Just depends on what your exposure is. Now, most people say, okay, well, that's a dynamic SL. That's a quite big SL there. Let's go ahead and grab this. Let's say if you were to enter here and we went downwards here, that's a negative 15% SL. Yes, that's a pretty decent SL. That's a big SL, stop loss, if you were to trigger. Now, Levi. Now, if that was to happen, it's okay with alt. To me personally, I go in and say it's okay if that happens in an alt. When you're looking at the traditional traders, they're like 1% SL, 1% SL. You keep getting wicked out, but let's be honest. We are on the cusp of a potential alt season. A 15% SL is still, it's warranted. You can run a 15% SL because tomorrow you'll catch a trade that will do 15% and you're recovered. 20% and you're recovered because we're having those moves, right? We're having things blow out of 100% in a day, 150% in a day. This is what traditionally happens in markets or in the crypto space, especially when we're going for it. Not financial advice, but we're seeing it happen, and I think we've shouted at the top of our lungs more than enough for people to see that. So that's where I'd be hanging my SL, just under 2.724, or even you can have a staggered SL. First one at what's this one at 2.724, and this one is at 2.466. So you can have two types of SLs. You can have one that gets you at 50% of your position. Next one, you hold it there. If it bounces back up, you can pick up your 50% position. So that's definitely a way to do it. Let's look at the weekly. This is very important to be looking at right now because
Rev, I just want to add something on the stop loss there.
Yeah.
Like, and you make a good point. Like, so in traditional markets, like stocks or something, they put their 1% stop losses in there. In crypto, you're able to go underwater a little bit. Maybe 5%, 10% underwater, and watch a massive bounce back. And I see that a lot of people, a lot of traders are always saying to people, put your stops in place, put your stops in place. But what you do see is everyone runs and puts these stops at like 2-3%. They all get wicked out, and then it continues to rally up or rally hard. And then everyone goes, oh, I got stopped out. And you see a lot of people saying, make sure you put your stops in. Yeah, it does make sense to put stops in. But what Rev is saying is drop that stop down maybe a little bit further than you would normally put one in. And you do see a lot of traders saying, I put my stops in a very, very tight, but not in this kind of market. This market is not where you probably, and that's not financial advice. That's just based on experience. Like, to have it too tight, it could cost you. Definitely. Sorry to add that in.
No, that's good. Yeah, because coming from me, Kurt, is a different thing. Coming from you, who's more of a long-term sort of trader, it makes sense. I do hold long-term as well, but I can get in and get out of trades really quickly, whereas that's not your style of trading. So coming from two different types of traders, it's actually cool. But yeah, definitely echo what you said, because this type of market is not for it. You can see the wicks happening. You can see the crazy price action happening everywhere, across the board. I mean, Unify has like wicks up and down. It's just ranging, consolidation, suppression. Someone wants more. Greed kicks in. And the moment it launches, it's going to launch. The moment those people that are taking their 20%, they start to lose their stack. I'm going to take my 20% profit here. And they drop, they put sell pressure on the books. They take their 20%. They're going to look back and they're going to regret it because they didn't get a chance to get back in.
That's right, exactly. And that's the point I was trying to make as well. Like, range, consolidate, wicked out, people sell, move on, and then we see the move up. So, that's what I was just trying to reiterate, is just be careful with your stops.
Yeah, be careful with your stops, but also be careful with your entry. Like, the total sizing of your position as well. I'm not saying go all in and ape like crazy. Still have, dry powder to preserve your capital as well. Be hedged. Be smart about your trading. Don't just be crazy about it, because there's no point in killing yourself in one or two trades and then being upset about it for the rest of your life. But
capital is your lifeline in this industry.
Yeah,
and in this game you need to have capital.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people actually, what you said, get stopped out, never manage to get back in, and the thing does 1,000, 2,000%. And they're usually the ones that come back and say it's your fault, and they start blaming it on other people because they can't take responsibility for what they did. But you know what? They should, because the moment they do take responsibility for the decision that they made and the outcome that came out of that is the time that they will move on and get back on the horse and then smash out again and do what they need to do. So
that was the lesson they need to learn.
Yeah, 100%. But some people just don't go to that lesson and they don't learn that lesson from that, and they get stuck in this, I'm never going to be able to do it. It's his fault. It's their fault. It's her fault. Never theirs. So they need to accept responsibility and actually grow as a person as well. So that's just a little bit of a rant there.
Sorry to deviate from the TA, but I just wanted to add that in.
I think it's okay. It was really good, actually. I loved hearing what you had to say, because I didn't hear you say that before. We haven't had a chat really about it ourselves. So let's look at the weekly on ICX here. Man, I think I'm getting hay fever. We can see we had a crazy push. This is in 2018. We've come back down on the SAP value. And look at this MACD, right? Coming up to the zero line, teasing us a little bit. And you can see what happens when it hits a zero line. That zero line is so impactful in crypto, and this is why we share it all the time. The moment we cross this zero line on the bullish side, it gets a little bit wild. You can see the push that came out of it once it confirmed. And once again, it rode the line, it rode the bearish, but still above the zero line. Another push and another push bounce, and then we've come under. Now we're going for another push out. And this was in August, September 2020. And now we're sitting in March 2021, and we're pushing that zero line. So this is why this trade has been chosen. And this is where most of the weight comes. The higher time frames give you the better outlook on whatever you need to look for, because the more history you can look back on, the better the decision you're going to make. So, we've looked at the shorter time frames and seen support and resistance, and buy pressure coming in. and support holding that price up of where it last had its resistance, because people are looking to get back in where they sold or close their longs and shorts, and recalibrate where they're sitting at break even, which causes buy pressure. Especially when you're flipping a resistance to support, you're causing buy pressure and imbalance of it and less sell pressure. So you have a bounce from that structure. So right now, yeah, we're looking for a push out. Let me remove these lines for a second because they are getting and making the chart a little bit messy here. I'll remove this one as well. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'd wait for the end of the week, maybe even, and see as a longer term play, not just part of a TIS hitters trade, to see if you want to pick up a position in this. If we do close above, it may be a really good trade right here. But right now it is flipping that resistance to support, and that's pretty pivotal. That's a moment of decision to be made. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing where this goes.
Looking good.
For sure.
Okay, so that is the trade. We aren't running with a second trade today. We're just looking at Icon, ICX. That is the TA, that is the setup. One other thing I just wanted to reiterate and just touch on is that there has been a lot of comments, a lot of questions about the TA course. I have discussed this in the Discord channels. I know Rev has discussed this in the Discord channels. We did go to launch it probably a week or two ago. But we had some issues with the logins. We are going to be sending out the login details for everyone, and that's going to be done by SMS. So you are going to get an SMS notification. We wanted to test the SMS notification with Road to 1 Million, which we have now done. We have had people comment and saying that it worked fine. We do know there's a few little issues with people replying back. That's not on us, that's on your carrier. So please understand that. But we are very close to dropping the TA course. It has been ready for probably a month, but it was just some small issues we had to deal with. We also have the backlog of people that did sign up to the members, and we had to get through all of that as well. So no excuses. We do have the product. It is ready to go. It is that short course that we have been talking about. It is 7 modules. We will add stuff to it later, but it is what we feel you guys need to check out and get started with. Hopefully the SMS should be out within the next 24, 36 hours. Fingers crossed, no promises, but yes, I do feel for, and I do appreciate everyone's patience waiting for this. It has been on, a few weeks, well over a month overdue, but we are getting to it, and we hope to have it out to you guys soon. Do you have anything else you want to add in, Mr. Nissen?
Nothing other than the fact that I got drilled for this TA course. And absolutely
I shouldn't have asked.
Absolutely hammered for it, and we've had it ready for so long now, and we just gone, guys, we're not ready, we're sorry, we have it ready, but we can't get it out to you guys. But no, it's all there.
So Rev and I went pretty hard with getting this course compiled together. Rev was doing all the videos, I was doing some design stuff, and we were trying to get it out as quick as possible. And then we hit a roadblock with obviously the new member influx that destroyed us. But another 600 or 700 people come flying in. Then we had Road to 1 Million issues, and then we had that. So yes, I take it on the chin. My responsibility. I'll take one for the team, Rev.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I'm just.
Yes, you did get the videos done, and it's on me.
You just wait, guys, till I drop a troll video of a little blooper of Kurt here.
Oh Jesus! Nowhere am I safe. I can't even go into Discord and make a picture of me having a drink yesterday without my trainer coming in and trolling me saying I'll see you at the gym tomorrow. Now I can't even do anything in my office without Rev recording it and using it as troll material with me. Seriously, the only place I feel safe is when I'm driving my car.
I've shown you the folder that I have, right? The Kurt troll folder.
I know. It's incredible.
It's good.
Incredible. Anyway, thanks for joining us for episode 32. If you aren't a member, there is a link below. You can check us out. Please hit the like button. Please drop a comment. Look forward to seeing you guys all on Friday. And I'll see you guys all in Discord. Take care. Bye for now. Have a good day.
Cheers, Kurt. Take it easy, guys. Bye.